Hi, this is Anuradha from PayPal Chennai. This session we are going to talk about uh, some of the strategies with which we can detect and mitigate attacks, which is bad and malicious traffic from bots. So bots, we have good bots and bad bots. Good bots examples are like search engine optimization, which are good and which is needed, and bad bots, uh, they are like automated scripts running and hitting a specific service. For example, let's take a login service, pretends to be a human, and that could lead to account takeover. So that's an example for a bad bot. If you typically see, one fourth of the internet traffic in 2019 is from bad bots, okay, which is actually huge. Um, and some of the intentions of the bad bot is content and price scrapping, credential stuffing, and credit card frauds, uh, and then it leads to the distributed denial of service also. Um, so typically we may think it's only a fintech industry which gets attacked, which is targeted, but it is not. We have a variety of the industries which is targeted for the bad bot attack. It could be governments, it could be non-profits, airlines, education. All these are targeted, right? And how typically in the internet traffic is routed to our site, right? So from the internet, we have network security layer. It has some detection mechanism where it filters the bad traffic, and then it goes to routing layer. Routing layer is where we can implement a application defense mechanism. We call it as a layer 7 defense, which is closer to the application, and that also reduces majority of the bad traffic, malicious traffic to the site, okay, because it sits closer to the application. It has more information about uh, uh, the user or the application or the access informations, right? So it's like a funnel. From the internet, network layer also reduces some of the bad traffic. Then the routing layer, layer 7 app defense mechanism, and the application layer, for example, identity and risk, also have some detection mechanism and mitigation mechanism, which further reduces the attack traffic. But at the application layer, it has to be very, very minimal. It has to be mitigated hugely at the top layers, so that our site is safe and available. That is very important for us, right? And some of the detection strategies we are going to see. One is HTTP pattern based. If we see a user agent is malicious, then we tag that to our policy, so that next time when such request from such user agent comes in, we treat them differently. We won't allow them. The second one is a typical one which is used by many of the web application firewall product, which is velocity based. So based on the velocity of the incoming request, we know that it is from a bot or is it a legitimate human. For example, 100 requests cannot be coming to our site from the same IP in a minute, right? So which means it is definitely a bot. So we can treat them differently. Uh, and if you look at some of the mitigation strategies, we can go for block. If we for sure, if we know that the attack is bad, then uh, we can block it right away by sending a HTTP 429 from the app defense layer itself. Um, Typically, if it is a API request, let's say if it is a from the front end request, right, which has an UI, we can actually show an error message in those cases. Um, a next strategy could be uh, CAPTCHAs. CAPTCHAs are again visible CAPTCHAs and invisible CAPTCHAs. On the visible CAPTCHA itself, we have text based, image based, and the most popular and recent one is Google reCAPTCHA, right? Um, so Google reCAPTCHA actually displays a variety of images, and then it will ask the user to choose which has car or which has a street signals or which had a street symbol and so on. So it's very hard for a bot to detect the image, but it's very easy for human to detect and then move on with the flow. And on the invisible part, uh, so we do have again Google reCAPTCHA version 3, which is a Google invisible CAPTCHA. So before that, why invisible captcha, right? Captchas are good when it comes to security, but it actually introduces friction to the end user, right? Uh, Considering the user friction, the industry is actually moving towards invisible captchas. And Google reCAPTCHA v3 is one of the invisible, where it provides a score based on the Google Analytics, which includes device fingerprinting, so that they will actually score the incoming request. If the score is very low, then uh, you can actually treat that request differently, right? You can actually throw a captcha, or you can actually go take the user to a two-factor authentication, uh, or you can also take the user to password recovery, right? If the score is high, then we can let through the user to the actual flows. And we'll talk about much more detection mechanism and strategy in the actual session. Thank you.